What's up, guys? It's Lugo back with Flex Appeal episode 108. Today we had some squats. This was today's session. We got back from recording the other one, but I worked up to a top single of 379.5 pounds. I did 341, 363, and then 379. Felt pretty good. Felt like my form was there, my core was where it needed to be in terms of being able to brace. Sometimes I have a harder time bracing when the weight gets heavy enough, especially without a belt. So keeping that in mind, I try to activate it as much as I can and really make sure that I get a good breath of air before I start. Um, but overall, I'm pretty satisfied with how the squats went. Felt like I was strong. Not only that I was strong, but I was strong in the position that I needed to be in, making sure that I, kept that position throughout the whole lift. 341 there, I was pretty confident. I took this 363 and I feel like it was high. And looking at it, it definitely was high. And so I was a little bit skeptical of taking this next one here. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sink it a little bit more, keep my brace, and it moved well. And it's kind of been a theme of right before my third, I will get hyped. Like I'll start grunting or like maybe not shouting, but like getting myself hyped up before the lift because I noticed that when I do, it moves better. That being said, I can't do it all the time because it is kind of like a decent energy dump for me to do that, like to get hyped. So I try to save it um, for the last attempt on each lift, just to make sure that I'm not expending more energy than I need to. And then I had a 1x2 top set of 319 for a tempo double. Tempo was a little bit off. It's supposed to be a 3-0, but again, I'm just trying to make it slow. And then I had five doubles at 286. And I'm pretty happy with how these moved. Maybe the tempo wasn't the best on every one of them, but I feel like as far as it went, my form was good. Depth maybe on some of them a little bit dicey. I feel like at least for the most part I was at parallel, and some of them I kind of sunk them a little bit more. But for the most part, I feel like it was good. Um, I think a problem that I have for sure on squat is like as soon as I start getting heavier or more fatigued, I start to pitch forward a little bit more, which is just my muscles getting really fatigued, and I start to become more reliant on my lower back, which is significantly stronger than my legs. Um, but I felt like I kept a decent trunk angle here. Felt like my core was doing well. And as far as it went, none of them were like excruciatingly hard grinders. They felt hard, obviously, because I'm doing five doubles. But as far as how they looked and moved, pretty good. I'm very happy with this squat session. And then I did a top set here, three plates, I think for like 9 reps. Really, really liking belt squat right now. I'm really happy with how this is progressing because I feel like for a few weeks there it was a little bit stagnant as well, but I feel like I couldn't find my form. But I feel like with belt squat, as soon as you find that form that you need to have, man, I this movement feels great. And I'm like kind of at that point where it's starting to feel insane for me. Like really good. I genuinely feel like this is helping my squat a lot, and I think that it's going to be good moving forward for the next block when I start to do a little bit higher reps, and just really looking forward to that. Again, I'm gonna touch on the ending the block here because the more that I think about this, the more that I think I just want to end the block because maxing is fun, but I've already done so many singles, and I feel like the actual maxing out, I don't really need to do it. Like, how much fatigue is that going to drive into the next block? I don't know, especially because I'm putting my belt on, and I know for a fact to hit the numbers that I want to hit, I have to be bigger, I have to be stronger, and I really want to be closer to my weight class. And it's going to take maybe like a week to really get to that max out point of taking it off, and then maybe like another half a week. And I don't know if that's worth to me to just max out on numbers that aren't going to give me the amount of joy that I want, especially with how happy I already am that the singles that I hit this block are what I wanted. I don't know. I'm kind of pondering, kind of like a, ruminating. I don't know. I think that when it comes down to it, I'll have to decide soon, within the next few days. I'll probably take like 2 or 3 days off, at least guaranteed, after the end of this block, and then we'll see. After how I feel after that. Like I said before, I'm thinking about it more and more, and every time I think about it more, it gets closer to just end the block and just start another one. Um, but again, we shall see. I am I'm pretty happy that I can finally put my belt on though next block, which is something that's been a while. I'm finally able to fit into it. I can put my sleeves on after that. Probably do 2 6. I'll do a 6 block, 6 week block, and then with a belt on, and then after that block, I'll put both of them on. I kind of don't want to introduce two variables at the same time for my squat, so that's probably where we'll go, and that's pretty much it for the video, guys. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for deadlifts and the final day of the training block one. Thanks for watching.